Hello friends, welcome to Azure Data Factory video series. Today we are going to learn parameterized pipeline in Azure Data Factory. In this video we will see practically how we can parameterize the pipeline. So I will show you some example here. Like first we will copy data from file to table 1, and then second copy data activity I will copy data from table 2 to file, and then we will parameterize the pipeline. Then we will pass both the table as from pipeline as a dynamic parameter. Now move to Azure portal, go to Azure Data Factory. I am creating a new pipeline here. Just hit the new pipeline option. So pipeline 3 I have opened as a new. Let me rename it, make it some meaningful name. Go to properties, make it as copy data or copy data and archive. Yeah, it looks good. Now we will take one copy data activity from this activities. Just drag and drop it, copy data. This is our first activity. This activity we will copy data from CSV file to table. Just let me create new data set, and our input is file. So I will select Azure Blob Storage and then the delimited text CSV file. Continue, and for this data set I need to create linked services. Let me create new linked service. We can rename it input demo 1. So for dataset, this is our new link service. We will select as free trial. The storage account name I have take a storage and put on. Just hit on create option. So our linked service is deploying now. It's deployed. Now we can go to our data sets, select the particular path. In demo container I can see I have 3 files. I need to select one particular file. Let me go to the take a storage, and we can delete some files here. So just to avoid the confusions and show clear picture, so just select containers. In container we have a demo container. Now we can delete 2 files here, and we will keep employee details. So from employee details CSV I will load the file to a table. Now in which table, let me show you also that. Just go to the database, take database I have created in my last video. If you want to see how we can create the database, the new server, and how we can query that any data on query editor, just please watch my previous video I have created for this. Just go to query editor preview, login with credentials. Some error, maybe it's a firewall error, so I need to configure firewall for this IP. Just add client IP and hit the save button. Our IP address will be added. You can see here. It's updating server firewall rules. Now we can able to log in now on query editor. Just hit OK button. So I am login query editor window. This is let me fire some query on employee details table, if we have some data or not. Just hit the run button, and we can see we have some data. So just for clarification, what we will do, we will truncate this table and we will load in copy data activity from file to this table. So we truncated this table. Now we can see there will be 0 records in this table. That's it. Now move to Azure Data Factory. If we refresh it, let's go again demo container. We will find one file only, employee CSV details CSV file. Just hit OK. So our dataset created, linked service created, and we configured the input dataset in source for copy data 1. It's configured. Now we can move to sync, that is target. Now again we need to create new dataset and new link service for this. This time that our dataset will be SQL. So just search SQL and select Azure SQL database. Now put some meaningful name here. Demo 1. Now create link service for this new dataset. Output demo 1 linked. Now select free trial, a subscription, server name, the TechTech server I have created, and the database name we can select here, TechTech-DB. For this time we are not creating any parameters for either link services or any either datasets. Just put the password and hit create button. We can test the connection also. We have option for test connection. For now let's go it create. It's creating. So linked service created. Now configure it on dataset. I am selecting the table name here, the employee details, and hit OK button. So our first copy data 1 activity is completed. Let me take another copy data activity, and that will be for archiving the file. So copy data 2 will copy data from table to file again. The first one was copy data from file to table, and second one is table to file. Just create the source and destination for this. This time the input is table. Let me create a new data set for input demo 2 and same linked service for this data set. Server name, database name, username. I am taking the same username as server name. It's just a sample database for me for practice, so we can keep the same. Just hit the OK button. Now link service is created. Configure it in dataset. This time I am taking the table employee. Previously I was taking employee details table as a output. Now in this second copy data activity I have selected employee table. So we will export employee table data. Let me check the data in employee table we have or not in the query editor. Here we have data. The fields are name, ID, and location. Now move to copy data. Source is configured. Now we can configure sync, and the sync we will select as blob storage because we are exporting the data into CSV file. Let's select delimited text, create the dataset and link service again. The output demo 2 and linked service will keep the same. Output demo 2 linked, or just demo 2. Select the free trial subscriptions, the storage account name, the TechTech storage, and just hit create button. If you want to test your connection, you can test here. We have option. Now configure the datasets demo container. You can see here the employee details CSV file only in that container. So for now I am just selecting it. we will change this name to employee table later, because we are exporting the data from employee table to employee. If we change here this table, we will get some error like the validation blob file is missing in the particular blob storage. So for now, just take it employee details, and we will check later just soon. Keep employee details and set OK. So it's configured now. Now we can see if we can change that the table name. Put data to the go to connections, and we will see the table name, CSV file name. So we can change here the employee CSV. So our new exported file will be employee.csv. Now move to our pipeline, copy data activity pipeline. Now to copy activities configured. Now just hit the debug button and it will start executing. Started. If you go down, we can see the progress. Currently copy data 1 is in progress. We have a refresh button. If you hit refresh, it will be give the current status. Hit refresh. It's failed. So copy data 1 is failed, and that's why copy data 2 it even not started. Let me check why it failed now. In the notification, we will see like the copy data 1 is failed. It's copy data failed, copy and archive data. If we go on, we can click view details, and we can see here the give column mapping does not match up with any column name in source. So source column name and target column name is not matching. That's why it get failed. So for now, let me check what is column names in source and the target. For first copy data 1 activity, it's a sync database. Let me see what is column names in database. Go to connection and preview data. We have a preview data option that we can see the data and the column names for this table. Just hit the preview data option. The name is name, designation and technology for the employee details table, and there is no data in that file right now. Now let's see for source what is field's name in the CSV file. We have a preview data option here only. If you see the column name is different, that's why it failed, and we have data in CSV file. So let me go to mapping. This way we can map our source fields and target fields. Even we can reorder the fields here if you want some other in other order than the file source, that we can reorder it and map this way. So we have 3 fields, source 1, 2, 3. Let me create 3 mappings and configure it one by one. So in our data type is string for all the 3s. We will keep the same 1, 2, 3 string. Let's select the third field, select 3. The type is again a string. Select string. Now move to the target and select the technology here as the third field, second field as designation, and first field as name. Now it's configured. Now if you hit debug button, it should start successfully running and complete successfully. So it started running. Let me refresh in down here again to see the progress. Copy data 1 is succeeded and copy data 2 is in progress. Now if you move to the database and run the employee details, this time that this table should have data imported from the file. We can see here the data is in the table. Meanwhile, let me check copy data 2 is also succeeded. So the container should have also the new file, CSV file with names employee.csv. Let's go to take a storage. Go to containers. We have container, demo container name. Just hit the demo container and we can see two files here, and the new file is employee.csv. Modified date is just for now 8/4/10. If you want to see the data, just go to edit, view and edit option here. We will see the data employee.csv. We have few data here. Okay, to move to data factory again. But now our final target is to pass the table name parameter from pipeline 1. So we have used two tables here, different tables, and we want to put the same table names from pipeline parameter. Okay, so for this we need to create first the parameters on both the copy data activity data sets. In this way we can select, if we just go to parameters, go new and put the parameter name as table name. Remember it, we are creating the parameter in dataset pipeline 1 for the database. Now we select, if you select edit button, then only it will be allowed to make it dynamic. So hit the dynamic, and if you go down, we have a table name parameter. If you see, we have this parameter name is dataset.parameter. Now go to the second copy data activity and configure the same for the table name. In this source we have the table name. Just let me open input demo 2 here in the data sets. Here again, go to parameters, create new parameter, table name parameter. We have a option to default. If you want to put some default value, we can put here, but for now I'm not going to put the default value. It will passes dynamic from at the time of run. Just hit the edit button and select the parameter table. We can see the expression is dataset.table name. Now go to copy data activity, and so for run this pipeline, now we need to put value here for that those both parameters table name. So for second, our table name is employee, again the same we have used in the previous, because we are using this parameter as dataset parameter. In next run we will pass the same table name for both from pipeline. So copy data 1 is table name is employee details. Put table name here, employee details. Copy data, remember copy data 1 table name is employee details, and copy 2 data table name is employee. Just hit the debug button. It's running. It's again showing in progress. Copy data 1 is in progress. It's created. Now if you go to a storage, we can see the file name. If you refresh it, the modified date is changed as 10/4 now. Previously it was 10, I guess 10/01 or something. So now for next run, what we will do, we will create the parameter for pipeline and pass the table name for both the tables as same. So this way, this is the main benefit for pipeline parameter. If you create the parameter in pipeline, and whatever the parameter name you will use in pipeline, throughout the pipeline it will pass the same table name through any activity. So this time, now go to both the copy data activity and make it dynamic for the table names. Let me change the employee file name, actually the second data activity, so we can distinguish the current file or new file. Let me put names employee archive. We can see here that we have option add dynamics. We can also make it dynamic. let me keep the same for now. Whenever you see the option highlighted add dynamic, you can make it dynamic. So now just hit the debug button. It should ask for the table name when we run. The table name will pass as employee details, so it will pass for both the tables. Okay, so let's make it for dynamic first. Go to copy data 1. In sync we have a table. Just click here and we will see the add dynamic. Just select add dynamic. If you click add dynamic, it will pass to put the parameter name. Select the parameter name for this. Just hit. Now we can see down we have a parameter name. If we select this parameter, now we can see the expression is pipeline.parameters.table name. Previously it was dataset.pipeline. Now go to copy data to make the same dynamic expression for this table. Select the parameter, table name. Something goes wrong. Let me delete it and select again the same parameter. Yeah, pipeline parameter. Now if we run this pipeline, it will ask for pipeline parameter. We can see here pipeline and parameters. The table name we are passing the same for both the activity now through pipeline. Just hit. Okay, this should be final run for parameterization through pipeline. If you hit this, copy data 1 succeeded. Copy data 2 is still queued in progress. If we refresh again, it's succeeded now. If you move to storage, the new file should be now here, employee archive.csv. This is the new file. And if you see this, we have not configured the table name internally one by one, but as we pass the table name employee details for both the tables through pipeline, the data is from employee details. If you can see here, employee details data in this new file. Now if you want to check for CSV file, previous file, the data will be different because the data was from employee tables. You can see the data is from employee table. Okay, so this was our topic and this was the agenda. I already told you the benefits of parameterization and benefits. Thanks for watching.